Okay. On April 26th and April 27th, Loso will be attempting to not only battle, but beat Tay-Rock and Geechee Gotti within a 48-hour span, which is impossible. To the casuals, let's talk about it. There comes a time in everyone's life where you must make a decision. Oh my goodness, man. Ladies and gentlemen, this video, all videos, and pretty much everything I do is powered by sickpcs.com. Great company over at sickpcs.com. They gave me the opportunity to stream in high qualities, upload at high qualities, and export videos and just about everything in a tenth of a time that it used to be on other PCs. But I've also collaborated with them for future projects and a lot more going forward. Use the promo code MikeP and get yourself 3% off any PC purchase from the level 1 to the level 10 to even the level 6 Envy build, which Sick PCs hailed as the Mike P build. For anyone that is gaming or doing content creation, being a YouTuber, a blogger, if you have ever thought of, upgrading to a PC or upgrading from a PC that you currently have, I promise you this will change the way you even look at wanting to grind for what it is you do. Ever since this PC is hit, I have been highly motivated, tunnel vision when it comes to just content creation, and I'm doing everything. I'm doing battle rap, I'm doing gaming, and I've done it at a higher rate because of this PC. So sickpcs.com, use the promo code MikeP, and yeah, let's get into the video. So let's talk about Loso choosing to battle Geechee Gotti and Tay-Rock within a 48-hour span. First off, Geechee Gotti and Tay-Rock are two people that before booking with them, I feel like most artists would tell themselves, this is the one where I need the most time on, right? If I'm battling Geechee Gotti, I need to clear my schedule. If I'm battling Tay-Rock, I need to clear my schedule. I need at least 2 months, 3 months to think of everything I possibly could to prepare as much as I possibly can. Not only is this the biggest opportunity you can get, because let's be honest, after Geechee and Rock, all those other guys are pretty untouchable. You're not going to get a Lux battle. You're not going to get a Mook battle. You're not going to get a Cassidy battle. So as far as the biggest battles you can get, really those two are the biggest ones. So not only do you want to give yourself time to prepare for something that are going to have the most eyes on you that you've ever had in your career, but you also want to leave yourself enough time to prepare for a killer in both of these guys. These guys, although every battle rapper, and we'll get into this, although every battle rapper has the ability to beat another battle rapper, those two guys are the ones that can do it a little better at a higher rate, let's just say that. So when I first saw the announcement for Loso versus Tay-Rock, I was like, dope, he's battling Tay-Rock, that's fire. And then I saw an announcement for Geechee, and I was like, wow, man, Loso's really trying to have a crazy year right now, wow. And look at the dates, and they're back to back. Loso will be waking up, battling Tay-Rock, going to sleep, waking up, and then battling Geechee Gotti. Now, the question that many people are asking, and the one that I wanted to ask on this video is, are you out of your mind? I mean, is that not the first initial response? And is that probably not going to be the most popular response when it comes to this? Nobody's really going to try to pick this apart. Everyone's just going to go, Loso, you're out of your mind. This can't happen. I mean, even if you weather the storm of a Tay-Rock battle, you're going to fall to Geechee. You might not win against either. I mean, what are you doing? And I wanted to ask myself, but instead I decided, you know what? Let me reach out to Loso, because in my mind, and this is where I pat myself on the back here, man, because I'm telling you, dude, I see these things.
Because I predict these things.
And I just know, I could just tell, man, I could just tell why an artist is doing what they're doing, but I wanted to make sure. So I asked Loso 2 questions that I felt like were, 2 of the most important questions, at least the ones that I wanted an answer to, and he was willing to give me an answer. When I had put 2 and 2 together and realized that he was battling Geechee and Rock in a 48-hour span, the first thing that I thought was not that he's crazy, but that it was intentional. And I asked him, did the idea of beating both in 48 hours play any part in the decision to take both matches? And do you feel any weight from prepping for 2 battles so close to each other? Loso responded to the first question, yes, a major part. You get to a point in your career where you're fighting against the optics of meaningless battles and being in conversations about is he top tier or mid tier? So how do you combat that? Do something that you either have never done before or that's never been done, period. Both matches are against all world talent. and both are pay-per-view. I will be in the public eye all weekend. When deciding should I take Rock and Geechee in the same weekend, I weighed the two extremes. I'm already the underdog against both guys, and rightfully so. They've had higher highs in their career than I. However, losing to Geechee and Rock wouldn't hurt my stock brand as much as beating Rock and Geechee would help it. The reward is far greater than the risk. A tough task nonetheless, but one that would change the narrative around my name. There are many times where you are presented with an opportunity in life in general that looks like an impossible feat, but where some people will include logic into their decision and say, okay, there's a big chance that I'm not going to benefit from this. Let me walk away. Let me not do this. There are artists and there are people that like to take risks. They want to be the superhero. When I got booked with Geechee Gotti, he had just beat Loaded Lux. He had just wrapped the belt around his waist for the third time. He was in LA. I knew he was going to have his people around him, but in my head, I thought I was going to be the miracle man. I thought I was going to pull it off. I thought I was going to do the impossible. Did it hurt me in the moment? Absolutely. Did I learn from it? Yes. And have I been undefeated since, arguably? Absolutely. I took the risk battling Danny in a small room, and I came out the victor. I took a risk battling B-Dot in California, and we had a very good battle back and forth. I took the risk of battling Twerk on the main stage in Nome, and it paid off huge. There are some times where you need to throw logic out of the window and just fucking believe in yourself. And sometimes it pays off huge. This is what Loso is doing. And as an artist and a fan, I respect it 100%. Loso is not battling Tay-Rock and Geechee Gotti in a 48-hour span because he wants two paychecks back to back. He is specifically taking both of these battles to try to defeat both of these men and make history. Do something that no one has ever done before. When you go outside the box, by default, it is respected by the people that you want respect from. This is a task that I personally don't think I would ever be able to do. I think if I weighed my options as far as how I prep for battles and how I feel, battles would go, it would be really hard for me to write for Geechee and Rock in the same span. But when he brings up the point of, you get into a point in your career where you're fighting against the optics of meaningless battles and being in conversations about, is he mid-tier or top tier? Now you kind of have to ask yourself, all right, well, is he doing this to make history, or is he doing this to rid himself of a label that was thrown on him that isn't even what he is? You know, I hate to burst the bubble of a lot of people, but top tiers are a very wide variety. Let me quickly explain to you what I believe the definition of a mid-tier is. The definition of a mid-tier is an extremely unaccomplished battler. If you were talking competitive, there are mid-tiers that are just as good as top tiers skill-wise. But if battle rap was about skill, it would be a completely different game. And let me tell you, most of your sources of entertainment would be a completely different thing to watch if every show or music genre based itself off of the skill level of each artist and not every other factor that goes into entertainment. Battle rap is entertainment. Mid-tier I look at as unaccomplished battlers. Battlers that do not have a big following. Battlers that do not go viral. They do not have great moments. They don't have great rounds. They don't have clear wins against tough opponents. They were never on big cards. Loso has done enough to be labeled as a top tier. I really hope the whispers of people that are unseasoned in the community, I hope that's not what really drove him to do this. I hope he's truly wanting to make history more than he is attempting to erase a bullshit label that is on Loso. Loso is a top tier battle rapper. That's very easy to say for someone like me. Might be harder for other people that don't really know the game, but top tier is a wide variety. Mid-tier battlers, man, are completely unaccomplished. I also agree that losing to Rock and Geechee doesn't necessarily hurt his stock. I mean, let's be honest. This is something that's supposed to happen, right? However, you do have to avoid a body. You have to avoid a body. And that is tough. That is a tough thing to avoid, especially, like I said, if you separate both of these guys. If you battle Tay-Rock, avoiding a body is a tough task. If you battle Geechee, avoiding a body is a tough task. Battling both of them in a 48-hour span, I mean, oh my God, you're asking for the toughest test of your career. But I do agree, having two really good battles with Geechee and Rock and being on the losing end of it, but still doing your numbers does not hurt your stock. And obviously beating both of them, takes you to that next level. And the second question I asked, do you feel any weight from prepping for two battles so close to each other? He said, yes. Prepping for both is so much pressure because I can't just name flip gumbar these guys. That's not who I am, nor is that effective for me. So I have to have fresh and effective angles for both of them. So far, it's been easier to come up with content for Rock than it has been for Geechee. I'm trying to write one round for Rock, then one round for Geechee, and so forth and so on. I'm getting anxiety just reading this answer. It's so crazy. NPTSD. And yeah, I mean, understandable to the umpth degree as far as prepping for both of them at the same time. I felt like it was a pretty rhetorical question I was asking, but I just wanted to get his insight as far as just really how it felt to try to do this within 2 days. I'm interested about, him saying it's easier to come up with content for Rock than it has been for Geechee. That happens sometimes. I mean, I've battled people that I wanted to battle and kind of got hard stuck in trying to figure out approaches for them. And then sometimes you get these battlers and your mind just tells you what to do. And, sometimes I can't even, I have to stop writing myself so I could just write other bars off to the side because you can't stop thinking of material for somebody. And then there's other battles where you just have to, it's like pulling teeth. You have to force your mind to try to come up with material. So it's good to hear that he's, the Rock material is coming along easy. It's obviously, it seems to be a little difficult writing for Geechee, but, I see both of this being done. Now, the question that everybody thinks they know the answer to, and I just don't think it's that simple, is can Loso do this? Can Loso beat Geechee Gotti and Tay-Rock within, and I mean, we're saying 48 hours, but let's be real, from the second he battles Tay-Rock and the second he battles Geechee Gotti, this is a 24-hour span. My answer is yes. Ladies and gentlemen, no matter who is your favorite, no matter who you think is the greatest, let me tell you something, and I hope it resonates with you. Keep it in your pocket. Always remember, battle rap is battle rap. Anything can happen. How many battles off the top of your head did you watch where a battle rapper lost to someone they were not supposed to? If you took every great moment from Tay-Rock and you took every great moment from Loso, it would be Tay-Rock up here and it would be Loso up here as far as how many times they have shown you greatness. If you took Geechee Gotti and you compared it to Loso, Geechee would be up here and Loso would be up here. But you know what's right over here? Greatness. Every single artist has flashes of greatness. I feel like what separates most of them is the consistency of how many times can you be great? How often can you pull great material out of your mind? How much great material can be in each round, not just one round, not just one 4-bar setup. You have your, Harlem Hospital giving beds out. You have your Verb, this is how you talk to your son. You have my second round versus Danny. Yes, there are rare moments where sometimes our best material is some of the greatest material you've ever heard. But greatness is a level playing field, and how much greatness is going to be in each round is up to the battle rapper. Listen, you might be thinking about what is Loso going to do? What is Loso going to do? But what is Tay-Rock going to do? What is Geechee Gotti going to do? Is Tay-Rock going to be the best Tay-Rock you've ever seen? Is Geechee Gotti going to be the best Geechee Gotti you've ever seen? You have to take these things into consideration. What you also have to factor in is style clashes. One thing about Christian battle rappers is, although that used to be looked at as something that hurt the Christian artists, but now a decade into these guys battling, as the opponent, there's more pressure on you as far as the approach. Styles make fights. What if Rock does an approach that doesn't hit? What if Geechee, makes fun of the Christian stuff and it doesn't hit? Like, what if they make the wrong approach? What if Loso takes the right approach and they take the wrong approach? Then you're looking at something that's very, very possible. Loso can do this. Loso can do this. And this video isn't to try to convince you to choose him as the winner. I'm just trying to say, you got to open your mind to the possibility of things that are possible. Don't just write off an artist because they're not as popular as the other guy, or they haven't been given the chance to be as great as the other guy. When they face each other, you have no idea what Loso wrote. You have no idea what Geechee Gotti wrote. You have no idea what Tay-Rock wrote. You have no idea how much time they put into it. You have no idea of the approach, whether it's going to work or not. You have no idea whether they're using an angle that's not going to hit. Are they punching their heads off? There are so many factors that go into battle rap. I've always said this. I used to say this a lot when I was on caffeine. My best prediction I could ever give you for a battle is I don't know, because you simply don't. I tip my hat. I tip all the hats in the world to Loso. Loso is doing something that has never been done before. He's got step 1 down, the booking of the battles. Step 2 is up to him. As always, please let me know in the comment section how you feel about this battle, how you feel about what I feel about this. What do you think is actually going to happen? Does Loso beat Tay-Rock? Does Loso beat Geechee? Does he beat both? Does he lose to both? Please let me know how you feel. Let me know what you think about Loso's intentions behind this as well, man. I think, guys, this is so important, man. This is so important to see, man. I want you guys to see more insightful videos about these artists, man. I mean, the things that go into some of the decisions that they make are extremely intricate and extremely important. I feel like to even respecting battle rap and battle rappers as a whole. I loved being able to get Loso on the line, and I'm gonna try to do this with as many videos as I can. When, you know, I like speaking on battlers. I feel like I speak on them very safely, very cautiously. I don't try to make assumptions. I don't, you know, base opinions off of things that I create myself. So I'm going to really try to reach out to as many artists as I could before I make videos on them. You know, I really appreciated Loso, you know, for answering a couple questions that I had in mind. And once again, appreciate y'all as always. Hit the subscribe button, become a member, man. Support the channel, become a member, join the Rye unit, or become part of the Hot Dukin. Check it out in the member description on my YouTube channel. That is it. And yeah, peace out.
I'm on the road, I'm on the go. Pull up the Royce, cushion a joint, I'm on the road. Everyone I met lifeless, she got a soul. I got a grind right now.